I'm slowly dissecting this box. Got this little vent here that's got to come down. It's got 3 screws holding it, one right here, one here. All right, and then that's going to go up into that. I'm trying not to mess with any of these gears. All right, so I got to screw out of here, screw out of here, screw out over there. You got a couple up here that are holding securing the tubing. Then you got these little clips that have to pop up. Hey, there's one right here, one right here, one here. They have to keep that down. So I'm just working on this side right now. You got the other side, which has got your AC system in it. Okay, once you got those clips off of there and the screws out, now you're going to go and try and lift it up, but you're going to have this little clip right here that's going to be locking. You got these 2 up front here where it's pushed into. So once you get this little lock undone, when you lifted it up, it should pop right out. Now give me something to hold on to. There it is. It'll just pop right out into your hands. Okay? You don't have to mess with any of the gearing or any of that stuff. So now you got is just this. Okay? Now you don't mess with the rest of it. That's got part of it. That's your AC. Part of your AC system. No. Okay, so now this is what we want to deal with. Alright. Now you flip it up like so. You got to pull. You're going to have to get this one out of the way. It's just a screw here. And a screw up here, and that'll drop out of the way. Now your actual core is right under this little panel here. And it should pull right out. I don't understand where my leaks come from. It was this side. Yeah. Looks like it was this side here that's doing the leakage. I didn't see anything over here. Alright, well, and because, the system has got 14 PSI on it, so it's going to blow out. Now, with what I'm looking at right now, maybe, just maybe, if I'd use some of that bar leak for heater core, that might have sealed that up. Just might have. Okay, back out some. All right, here we are. You see your core. This is the door. It's flat. It's missing seal around here, but that's all right. It's gonna hurt nothing. Let's go ahead and get this out. So again, I gotta unscrew here. Now we've got a screw up there, and then you've got a screw here, which holds that panel, holds the panel in, and it'll slide. Do that one too. Okay, when you go to slide this out, you got these little locks right here. You're gonna have to push those locks back a little bit, both sides, and then you'll be able to slide the core out. I don't know what's going on here. This is weird. Yep. Environmentally incorrect. Looks like we've got a break. This is plastic, and it's pushed up against the, I don't know. Something ain't right here. I don't get it. Huh. Anyway. Okay, well, there's my problem. Looks like if you see right through here, right on this seam, it failed. So, I got to get back with these people and say, hey, I only had this thing in a year, and it failed right here. The other one's got to go back in. Ah, don't that bite. Okay, here's a new one. I don't know why those are all. They feel loose, but it says in the thing, don't worry about it. Just put it back in, and I guess they'll seal themselves back up. We'll see. If not, guess what? It's gonna get some bars leak. I ain't going back in here again. I've done this freaking twice. I ain't interested in doing it a third time. And as I showed you before, these little tabs here, lock on that. Keep that locked in. I got to get that other part that goes across here. But it is now in and seated. All right, you've got this other piece here. This little lockdown plate. It's got a tab on one side, tabs on both sides of here, and then you're going to secure it with a screw in the middle. All right, so this is going to slide back off here, shouldn't we? This is your piece that goes up against your firewall. I'm going to put it back on here. Like so. I have to twist that. I can't do it in one hand. Oh, it's in my pocket. Okay, there we go. All right. So you take this piece here and you got to come over the top here. And then you got a little dowel that goes down in the middle of that. So to go over that, clip it over, pop it down. And I got 2 screws left. I'm going there. Hold that side. This one here goes in the middle. Right here. And that is securing the core in its box. Okay, we're going to reattach the heater core box to the whole heater assembly. Now remember, like I just told you, when I pulled it off, you got these little hooks. They're going to go right in here. They'll line right up. And then you're going to bring it over here, line it up. That should pop in there. And I'm sure there's another hook. I think it's just that one. And then we got to get our clips. And then we got our 4 screws put in. Kind of got ahead of myself. I forgot to put this ducting back in here. These ductings can, this one particularly, it's got to go under here. If you get it on here and you screw it down, you'll never get this back in. Okay, because this one's got to come up underneath it. And then plug in. Okay, so don't forget that before you put this back on here. Okay, you also got to pull this screw out, and then that's got to go over the top of that, and then lock down on it. Might be going underneath it. Again, I can't. When I pulled it apart. Okay. We do not have our. Where are they? All right. Get her clips on there. And I only had to take 2 off. That's all there is. Okay. And 1, 2, 3. That one down there, you need a magnet to get that on. Okay, don't forget to put your little ducting on here before you put it back on here. Okay, so that's going to screw. 1 up here, 2 in there. Okay, flip it back over. Now we're going to go ahead and put this ducting back on. I washed the other parts off. Okay, you're going to go up like so. You're going to lock down, locked here, and then screwed there. And it takes care of putting the box back, putting it all back together, and now I can go ahead and get it back in the vehicle. All right, boys and girls, that be it. Let's get her back in. You can put your little boot cover on here. You push it through. I said to get that bottom ducting in there. You got 2 screws. That was what was rocking around inside here. Was another screw. Okay, get her lined up. Got your little drain right here, And then now on the back side, going through the firewall, your hose got to be there, and it's just got to be up here. Okay, we'll get our nut right here. And that's all that locks that in. And we are set. Now we go ahead and put her back, start putting her back together again. Like that. That's it. Jeez. Back in there. You can take your quarter terminal. Line those up. Right. My little nut go. My little nut. What did I do with it? I put it on the table. Alright, where are you? Where are you? Alright, hold on. Alright, let's get this dash back up in here where it needs to be. We'll get steering wheel back up to where it needs to be and all that stuff. Dash is back up. I heard her lock in different places. Let's get that steering wheel back where it needs to be. Okay, that does it. All 5 of them. Actually, I wound up doing 2 here off of the booster. That was 2. We got 1 more. So actually, you just need to do the top one. So it's 1, 2, and then you've got 1 up here, which is 3. You got a bottom one down there, which is 4. And so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right. Tighten those back down. Tighten them up good with your. I'm using my impact, but I'm going to go ahead and back it up by using a ratchet to make sure they're nice and snug. I haven't screwed anything up here. Okay, after doing that, after tightening those down, I got to come back in here. I got a Mr. Booster plug back into the brake pedal. Also, we're going to do. Gonna get our still loose. We gotta get that lined up on that. I get some cables behind that. Gotta get a line. We're good. Okay, real important. You disconnect that booster from your brake pedal. Make sure you get that freaking clip back on there properly. All right, so it locks. And we're good. Alright, have it pushed up here. I should be able to turn the key and then select that now, but that's not where I'm at right now. Yeah, put that bolt back in there. Make sure you get all your freaking cables and stuff out from behind it. And that's where we're at. Let's get this. Okay, let's go back up there and get the turn signal put back together. And get our covers back on. Okay, let's get your steering wheel. Get our turn signal controller, high beam, low beam on there. Got these little groove. We got this little groove right here, and it's got to go in that little groove there. It'll slide right on in there. And we got a little screw. We'll tighten that down. Get your plug. Plug's got to go on. All right, click. All right, you're back in there. I'll be back in there sometime down the road because I got to do that clock spring again. Alright, this thing here, I didn't even pull it. Alright, so just make sure you get that screw in there. I'm missing right now. It'll hold that in place. Now we'll get our outside covers back on, and that'll be taken care of. If you saw the last video that I did of doing this core, I pulled the whole steering wheel. Steering wheel off, and the freaking rack was pulled out. And, so it shows that you can bypass that without having to take that steering wheel off just by loosening up those nuts on your firewall and taking off this. I don't know if I even needed to after I did what I was doing, but just this slides right. Just unscrew it, slide it, and get it moved out of the way. It's that simple, and then it won't be in your way. If I had been able to get that selector back far enough, but the problem is you can't do that without frickin' turning the key. So anyway, let's get this back together. Okay, on this side of the house, you gotta remember, is when I went to pull that, you got your red and blue plug right there, and then you've got another one right here that had to disconnect when I was on top of it coming back the other side. So make sure those get plugged in, because if you don't, nothing's going to work. Okay? So make sure those are plugged in. Alright, so that's back together. Put those screws back in. They're freaking T20 long ones. And let's see. A couple of screws here that had to hold the OBA plug in. And I need one more to hold the courtesy light plug. It's right there. Okay, pretty much the last of the screws are back in over here now. Just got to get the console put back in. Get those nuts for that. Of course, you got that. Let's get to the other side. Let's get the center console plugged back in. All right, let's go ahead and get your center console plugged back in. Okay, center console is almost in. You got that back where it needs to be. You got four nuts all the way around. Now I'll get this puppy here back where it needs to be. So you gotta get that lined right up. Okay, we got all them back together again. Just got to play around with that spring that tightened down. Make sure that's back in it, and it's locked in its saddle where it needs to be. That one in its saddle where it needs to be. We should be good. I think I got a plug in here. Where are you? Alright. Yeah. That's going to get plugged. It'll get plugged back into that other thing there. Alright, so we are. Let's just take care of part of that. Alright, so center console, or your gear shifting is plugged back in. We got a nut under here we gotta get, nut over there we gotta get and tighten down. Alright, let's not forget, we gotta tighten our wall. That wall bolt down. There you go. Now I start plugging some plugs in here. Alright, we get that. Okay. Bring this back up on here. Where they belong. Here's your courtesy as well. Okay. Got a blower here. You got this one messing around with me. Won't let me put back in. Come on, I'll get you. I want to get you. Alright, I got you. Alright, now I can probably be applied right there. Got my nut here. Put that one in. Probably tab here. Alright. Okay. So I had those other two in there. I've got to get this back up here, and then we'll get that courtesy bulb back in there. Oh, I actually have one in my pocket. Okay, I got another one of those silver bolts. Got to be tightened up there. All right, I should have had this further into the video, but you've got a sensor here that's got to go. You see the hole. See the hole? That sensor's got to go in that hole. And guess what? It's blocked. It is blocked. There's no way to get that in there. Okay, I just loosened that up. And I loosened that up. I've got play now. I mean, I got enough play to do what I need to do. Okay, I got it in there. I was able to pull it back enough to get it to let go. Shut it back in there. All right, and you got this little plug that's got to go and plug into it. All right, that wasn't that hard after all. Let's get this cranked back up. That nut, that bolt back in there. We're done. Woo! All right. Okay, then you get your ducting and slide it right back up here. Lock her in. Okay, we're done. Done here. Now we just get all. Now it's just to get the radio back in, the dash back in, and just getting all the trim back in. All right. Oh man, that's awesome. Well, I'll make sure I gotta put my bolts around across the top. All right, I got excited about now putting the bolts across the top to hold the dash in. You can't forget this freaking bracket. All right, and it's got to be turned around facing in. Just get it in there, slide it up. All right, there we go. Then you get your two nuts on here. You got a center one, and then you're gonna have your 2 bolts going through here, holding that together. Don't forget that, okay? You're sitting over there on the table like, what the heck is this thing? All right. Okay, you got your little 10 nuts here. You got the screw there, and then of course you're gonna put your nut bolts, and you're gonna hold that plate in place. I'm not sure what it's for, but other than maybe holding this up, but you know, it's got plenty of stuff to hold it up. It's overlapping, I guess. Okay, let's go ahead and put the speedo back in. Just getting stuff back together. Okay, all you got is, what is it, two plugs. Just 2 plugs. 3 plugs. 3 plugs, plug back in here. Okay, she's in there. I just gotta put the little screws to hold it in. Okay, let's try to see what happens. All right, everything's on. I don't have the radio in, but everything here is functioning. And now got the key on. I should be able to go in all my gears. Turn the key off. Should be locked up. Yep, I know. Okay, I get this center console in. This piece here, it slides in down the bottom there, and then you got your 2 screws. Just screw it down in and make it solid, because that's the inside of this panel. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to take your emergency brake handle and bring it through up here. Then you'll go ahead and you got your top piece here. That's going to contour to this when you get it down, and then of course you've got your top console top pan. Where is it? That thing there is going to go on top of that. Earlier, I had to put that piece back in there. You got your 2 bolts, and then that piece there, and then it bolts down on both sides up there. And that's part of what holds your center console in place. I'm like fighting the battery time. Been running all day. Okay, so what I'm doing right now is putting these in. You got a little speaker cover there. You got your inner piece here that you'll line up with that freaking little door thing here that you'll be able to turn. And they've broken that off, so that's obsolete now. You got 1 screw up here. Next thing, now you can go ahead and put your trim here back up. That has to slide slide right in there. And then yay. And you make sure that lines up there. I got another one up here somewhere. Another one right there. But that takes care of that. And then we're going to put that cover back on top here. And should be back together. You got one more ducting. And then we got the controller. This has a little zipper on it. You can zip that back up. Let's see. You got screw right here, screw here, and then 2 screws there that take care of that cover. And we'll put that center console back in, radio back in. Still going. Alright, trim panel's back on both sides. So now we'll go be able to put this back in. Now remember, like I said, you got to push those in all the way across. Alright? And then you'll be able to push it down. Alright? Shoot in and then down. In and then down. All the way across. We're coming to an end here. Get it warmed up. Sure she's got heat. Been sitting in here a week. So I had to wait on the part, of course. I'm going to use the same one. Push in. Get down. Alright, there you go. And in, and then down. Get all the way in. There you go. When you get all the way in, it'll be down. Alright. Alright. Now we just got to fill in that hole. And that hole. That hole. Oh my. Man. Been a job. Let me see our real panels. Alright, it's your 110 panel right here. You find your 110 plug right here. Your 110 panel will plug in. It just fits like that. Line up your push-ins. And you're going from underneath. And just shove it together. And your 110's in. Alright, let's get our center control. Four-wheel drive controller on there. You have a little cannon plug under there. And then it just pushes down, locks in. Next thing we got to do, we got to put the radio in. And then we can put our controller and other parts on here. Alright, so as you can see, four cannon plugs plugged in down there. And I'm going to go ahead and slide this down. They got little push-ins. Should lock in. Okay, especially after the radio ablation, you got 4 screws. Alright. There we go. Click, click. And click, click. There we go. Awesome. Alright, we're back together. I have to pull that forward when you're doing it. Alright, let's get this sucker here installed. It's going up here. Lock it in. You got two screws on both sides, and you got this little cover that goes on top of that. All right, so we got our center console back together. All right, we got speakers. Okay, let's find some more screws. Those back in there. Now we just gotta get the kick panels back on. I just put some antifreeze in it. I'm gonna start it up here and get it running. All right, boys and girls. That's the only thing I had to do is do the kick panel. Besides refilling the radiator, making sure it's topped off. So it's cooled off right. I've got it topped off for right now. We'll get it squared away tomorrow. I got plenty of heat. I am so happy. So, alright. That does that. Thanks for watching. If you like, give me a thumbs up. Hopefully it was informative to you. Something that you probably don't want to do. But you'll understand the bill when you get one after you had one replaced. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next Dana's Garage. And this was Project Nitro, replacing the heater core.